Hello, I'm Sean from Caravans, and I'm here today to show you through the basic operation of the Safari Caravan. So starting on the front here, your gas bottles, these will be full on the day that you pick your new van up. We've got a gas regulator on the front here, and it's simply just a matter of selecting which one of these bottles you'd like to operate from. So if I select this way and just turn the bottle on, we don't want to be travelling with these on, but once you're stopped and ready to set up, pop your gas bottle on. These guys have got a swing away gas bottle holder on the front here. Just basically pull this clamp to the side, and then your bottle actually comes out sideways, so you don't have to lift it straight up. We recommend maybe a couple of padlocks, one on each side here just for safety, and keeps your bottle secure. You've got a water tap on the A-frame here. So this water tap here is just cold water, and that will be operating off whichever water source you're on, whether it be your tank or your mains pressure. You've got your jockey wheel here. It's pretty basic sort of operation on the old wheel, winds up and down. On the day you come and collect, obviously we'll show you through hooking up the van. If you've got distribution bars already, or you're buying a set of distribution bars, the guys will show you how this all hooks up on the day. We've got some chains here which go onto the back of the car, and there's a nice little spot there to hold those when they're not in use, so they're not sitting on the ground there. The front, we've got the Anderson plug, and then a 12-pin plug on the front here, which is all done to the Australian standard. Again, hooking all this up, we'll test all this on the day that you come and collect, just to make sure that you're all operational before you go home. This one's just got a 50mm ball coupling. If you've got the off-road X-Track, we'll again show you how to hook that up on the day. Move around to the side. So in the tunnel boot here, you've got a jack. So here, in case you get a flat tyre, there's a light on either side in the tunnel boot here, 12-volt light, which is handy night time. And then down the bottom here, we've got the drop stands. So these stands are not a jack. These are just simply for steadying your van so it doesn't rock around at night time. We just wind those down. Bit of pressure there, that's all you need to do. Obviously we want these back up for travel. Pop that one back in there. We'll come back to the awning at the end. We've got a gas bayonet here. If you've got a BBQ Weber that's got a bayonet fitting, this is ideal for the BBQ Weber. Entry door. So, the keys with the entry door, pretty basic. Come around, lock. I always pull the key out in this upwards position, back to centre, and it's unlocked and ready to be used. The door splits in half, so up splits it in half, down doesn't split it. So once this is split in half, you've got your fly mesh screen, and then hook this one up. Here we recommend always hooking the door up. If it's windy, it does have a door stop down the bottom here, but obviously in the wind we don't want that to blow around. So that's pretty straightforward. This one's got a roller blind here for privacy at night time. If these are not available, then it has a curtain. Picnic table. So this one's locked up for travel, and then basically you can sit all your cooking things on here. This one's good for about 20 kilos. It's all reinforced in behind here, so it's nice and strong. Just obviously again make sure this one's locked for travel. Jacking point here at the back. So this jacking point, there's one on either side. So if you're unlucky enough to get a flat tyre, then the jack in the boot just hooks on here, and you'll lift it from this point. You don't have to go under the van to lift it if it has a flat. We've got a 10 amp outlet on this one. So that's just standard household appliances in here. Annex lights up the top, they all switch on from the inside, and I'll demonstrate that once we're inside the van. So on this one, the toilet's on this side. So again, on the inside, I'll show you how the toilet operates from the inside, but this is how it comes out. So it lifts up here. There's a couple of different models of toilet. However, the operation is basically identical on all of them. This one has a little thing that turns around, and then you've got a cap on the top. Caravan parks have spots you can empty these. So basically, just to empty it, it's got a little button at the back that lets air in. That just makes it come out quick instead of slow. Chemical, you can measure your chemical in the cap at the top here, but usually you just 3/4 fill that. Chuck it back in there. Usually put around a litre of water in the cassette to begin. So a litre of water, chemical, and then it just slides in. I forgot to mention, it's got this lift up here with the wheels, because it is quite heavy once you've got it full. So that one just goes back in, and then it just clips in here, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay. And that's ready to go. Litre of water, the chemical, slide it in, we'll use it till it's full, and then empty it. This can be locked as well. There's locks for all of these hatches here. One lock on there. This particular van, so it depends on which model you've purchased. This one's got an entertainment hatch out here. So this has the ability to run the TV outside on the 12 volt. Got a little 240 in there, TV point and a 12 volt socket. So if your Caravan doesn't have this, it has the points out here next to the picnic table, so you can still sit the tally outside and run it out there if you want. Not a lot to see at the back here, just the spare and the bumper. This one's got a little hatch here under the bunk, but depends if you've got a bunk van or not. So on this one, this is your water inlet. So this is what's called a mains pressure inlet. So if at the Caravan park, there'll be a tap nearby, and you'll hook up a non-toxic drinking water hose to this one. This just takes standard household garden hose fittings. So you would have a fitting on there, click the hose on and just leave that turned on, and that'll pressurise the van. This is the hot water and shower and all that sort of stuff. So that's just your mains pressure there. You've got an outlet here for the plumbing. So on this one, the shower and the sink and everything comes out here. I think that one's a 40mm thread. That's where your sullage pipe goes. It's all your grey water. Like I said, sink, vanity, shower. If you've got a washing machine, all comes out that one. Okay, jacking point again on this side. Locked up. Water fillers. So these here are your water fillers. So fill up your onboard water storage here. You've got 2 fillers, the Safari standard with 2 95-litre tanks. So they're filled individually, and then you can drain them individually, and I'll show you inside the van how to operate that as well. And then do that one up, and then just lock that one up for travel. Fridge vents on this side, so nothing to do there. This one's the hot water, so we use the Swift Australian-made hot water unit. There's really nothing to do outside here with the hot water. This runs off gas or 240 volt, and that's all switched on from inside the van. Other side of the tunnel boot, again the light on this side here, which is handy. These hatches are lockable, so basically that's closed there. You can travel with it unlocked as long as it's closed, but I would recommend locking those for travel, and not to drop them either. From high, you want to just make sure you sit them down like that. And then obviously these stands are on all 4 corners. So to finish on the outside here, we'll just roll the awning out. I'll just do the basic operation of the awning. At each end here we've got a travel lock, so that one just unclips. And there's a black knob on the back there, we just loosen that off. Same thing up the other end. Undo this clip, loosen the knob, and then we click this top one here to the rolled down position. That releases the drum, and then I'll just use that little there to pull that down. There we go. So once this one's rolled all the way out, it's just a matter of sliding this up, and then it clips in here just past this little plastic bit there. So basically we've made this what I call the frame up this end, and then we repeat the process up the other end. Pretty basic, like so. That's it. And then we're right to actually lift this framework up. So down here we've got this handle. So we just grab this out and slide it. You can do this by yourself. If you've got another person, obviously a bit easier. The other end, I like to go about halfway, and then I'll basically go all the way up at this end, wherever I want that there. That's pretty good. And then we might match that up. So this awning doesn't have to be dead level. It doesn't matter if you've got this down one click at this end to that end. You can have a little bit of slope on it if you like. I like to pull this one out a bit and then just do this one up, and that just steadies this arm a little. So there's a number of things that you can actually add to your awning, aftermarket accessories. The anti-flap bars that go on here, you can have curved bars. You might have a couple on this one that'll push up just to tension that, stop it flapping around in the wind. But that's the basic operation. You can also take this arm off, which I won't do today, but that's pretty basic. This one comes down, and then you can do things like do this up, and then this one comes off the van, and then you can bring these out. So yeah, you can have this awning arm open here, then that opens this up. It, obviously opens things up, makes it a bit easier to use. You can put guy ropes around here once you've got this down position here to pull down and put an extra rope on it if you like. Pop that one back on. Okay. So to pack it up, it's basically the reverse. So we want to loosen this one off, make sure they're loose at both ends. Drop this one down, I won't go all the way there. So the main thing when you come down is to make sure that this makes it all the way to the pin. We don't want to be here, one click above, it has to be on this bottom pin, otherwise you can damage it. So we just push down, slide down, and that sits here, okay? Repeat the same at this end. So we've collapsed the frame and now it's all ready to go back up. And we recommend holding onto the strap. Grab the rod. So when you click this to roll it back up over here, it's quite firm. I find if you push a bit of weight down on here, that clicks over quite easily. And now, obviously, we hold on to it. If you're tall enough, you won't need the reaching rod, but I obviously do. And then we'll just clip this back in, do this back up. So that there, is the main thing for travel, is this one's in. You don't have to touch this up the top here now because it's staying in that roll up position, keeps the tension on that drum. And then the little black knob, you just need to nip that up. It doesn't have to be overly tight. It doesn't actually hold anything while it's traveling. So obviously we check this in, clip it in, do that one up, and don't leave the rod on the ground or you'll never see it again. Okay. So with the Caravan, you've got two power sources. One is 240 volt and the other one is the 12 volt system. So on the outside of the van, on this side, there's the input for a 15 amp plug. Once you plug that power in, all of these power points are then live and they're all fine to use. So even though the lights aren't on now, if we had something plugged in here, we can use that. The fridge has multiple sources of power, so depending on what you want to use, but if you want to use it on 240, obviously you need 240 power for that one. So if you've got the 240 on, then this battery charger will come on straight away because it's plugged into 240 power. So the moment you arrive somewhere and you put power in your van, you've got the charger comes on automatically. To turn the 12 volt on, black switch at the door, and then anything you've left on 12 volt, like the lights at the top here, will come on. So if you don't have 240 power, like we are here right now, you can still obviously use all the 12 volt items, and then they just switch on and off here. Lights, outside lights, internal lights, the range hood's in under here, all 12 volt. So when you go to use it, it'll become pretty obvious what items run off 240 and which ones require 12 volts. So for travelling, we recommend this one switched off for travel. Storing the van, also have that one switched off. Once you're in the van and using it, just leave that on, and then just turn all the items on and off. The little reading lights and everything. These all just, once you've got the black switch on, you just operate those as you see fit. So up the top here, inside this overhead, we've got obviously the charger. We've got the solar regulator. With the solar, there's nothing you need to do. The only thing you would do really is check the voltage if you're camping. Other than that, it's all automatic, takes care of itself. We've got the hot water service here. So there's two switches here for the hot water. One is gas and one is electric. So electric is 240 volt, doesn't run off the batteries. And then we have gas. So if we're camping, we switch on the gas. We've got the gas bottle on the front, and then it has a little process, and then once it lights up, this light just stays on. Turn that one off now, and then if you're at a caravan park and you have power, I normally just leave this one on. You're paying for the power, just leave that on, and then it goes all the time. And then obviously turn that one off when you're finished with it. This one here is the water pump. Makes a bit of noise, the old water pump. So it's pressure activated pump. So that pump is operated when you don't have any mains pressure water. So if you've got mains pressure water, you leave the pump off. We don't run them at the same time. But if you're camping on the side of the road, just turn that one on. So that will pressurise. It'll pressurise the shower, the vanity, the tap on the outside, on the sink here. We've got the flick mixer and the water filter tap. So this one here now at the moment is just running off the pump arrangement. Okay, and then this one here, pretty much your water filter, which lives down underneath the cupboard there. It's got a little carbon filter built in under the sink there. Not much else to say there. The radio, you've got your DVD radio unit up the top here. Actually just Bluetooth radio. Water level indicators. These are an indicator, so they give you a rough idea. You've got half in one tank and the other one's full, and you can switch it off if you don't want it on. Yeah, that just gives you an idea of how much water's in the tanks. Put that back down. The stove, so with the stove, with the lid, we just want to lift the lid up here. So the standard arrangement is a Swift Australian made stove. We've got a 240 volt, so for camping you can't use this one. We've got 3 gas here with the burners. It has a Prezo ignition. So you just hold those on for a bit, just a little sensor there, and then that's it. You just adjust it to whatever you want. It's got a safety cutout here. It's got 2 solenoids on it. If this happens to come down, it will shut the gas off for safety. There's just a little travel latch there as well. This one's got the griller underneath, and then if you've got an oven, your oven will be down here, and that's all gas operated as well. So this one's the water pump here, and this one. So your water pump has two valves. So this is the suction side. So at the moment it's drawing off this tank and not this one. So you can drain one tank, then when that empties or it starts to blow a bit of air, you just close that one off, and then you can open this one. If you're connected to mains pressure, we recommend actually closing both. In case you get a park that's got high pressure, it can actually feed back through the pump into the tank. So using the mains water, close this one off. Camping and on the side of the road, obviously you can turn that one around. That's all ready to go. That's 12 volt, runs off the battery. The fridge, so this particular fridge, depending on your model, there's a few different fridges, but the principle is pretty much the same on all of them. This is the new Dometic 3-way fridge. This one, once you turn it on, it goes to an automatic setting. So basically it chooses the best source to run off of. So if there's 12 volt, which comes from the car, it will automatically go to 12 volt because it assumes that you're traveling. Once you plug 240 in, it will take over to 240, and then obviously if there's neither and the gas is on, it'll light up automatically on the gas. Turn that one off. There's a couple of different temperature settings and stuff as well. That's going to go over to gas there now, and then you've got a temperature setting. Because there's a couple of different model fridges, I won't run through all of how to operate this one. On the day you pick up, your relevant salesperson will show you how to operate the temperature in the fridge, depending on which one's in your particular van. Freezer, fridge. Go down here into the bathroom. So this one being the bunk van, this one's got a bathroom, but the principles are the same regardless whether you've got a Delta or an X-Track, Tough Roader or a Legacy. So with your vanity here, again, that just operates whichever water. You got hot and cold there, whichever one you're going off of. You've got switches here for lighting. Light up the top there. That's all operating off the batteries. So you've got a nice fan hatch there just to draw out some steam. Make sure they're down for travel. And the shower, exactly the same arrangement in the shower. Fan hatch and the one light there. And that'll just operate off one of these switches. And you've got your shower rose there. I do recommend this one comes off for travel. This one, it's a household unit. So that just comes off, and you just usually place it on the floor if you've got a mat or something to go in there. And then you've got the plug here. This plug here is not to turn it into a bath, but with the Caravan plumbing, you can get a little bit of smells and things through pipes. So you can put that one in there when you're not using it. The shower screen doors in the Safaris have a magnetic strip here, which is just for general use. There's a travel lock there. We want that one to be locked for travel, obviously. The toilet, down here. So with the toilet, down the bottom here, there's a couple of models of toilet. This is the China bowl toilet. Whether it's China, plastic, or doesn't really matter the brand, they all operate the same way. So this has a little flap at the bottom here. So you just open that, and then the flap that's opening there, you can see that moving. That's the top of that cassette unit that I took out before. So to use it, you want to have it open, obviously. Use it, and then there's a little button on the top here to flush it. So that just flushes. So the pump's operating that now. If you're on the mains pressure water, obviously it'll flush with the mains pressure water at the Caravan park if you're at a park. Once that's flushed, close the flap, which is pretty self-explanatory. You want this flap to be closed, obviously reduce the smells and everything coming out of here, but to pull that cassette out on the outside, If you've got that open, it'll be, you pretty much can't get it out, but you can damage it. So obviously you want that closed. That cassette should just glide out with ease. Lid on the top there. This one's China bowl, so you can just use household chemicals here for normal toilet cleaning chemicals for that one. There's a little picture of the cassette there on the top. A light that just lights up when it's time to empty. Okay, so once you empty it, like I said, empty it at the dump point, a litre of water, put the chemical, slide it back in, it's ready to go again. I might go this side, and we'll do this hatch here. So the Ranger hatch has the lighting here. It's got this block out screen here as well. And it comes across and has a fly screen. So the operation, whether it's the large or small one, is pretty much the same. You can open this up as a skylight like this. And then if you want, it's got a couple little locks there. And then that handle comes down, and then you just push it up, and then that's just open. And then obviously if you want, you can get the flies and the mosquitoes out. If it's really windy, like today, it's quite still, this is quite nice. If it's really windy, this is going to catch a lot of wind and be rattling around. So there is a setting down here. You can pull this down and you can actually lock it in a slightly open position, just here on this one, if you want. To lock it, go all the way down, like so, and just pop that one back up to there, and then that's fine for travel. Obviously that's something you check before you drive off down the road. The microwave, you need 240 power for this one. It's just plugged in and left on. There's instructions with the microwave. There's a couple of different models of microwave, but principle's all the same for those. Might do the tally next. So all the Safaris have the wine guard antenna. So with this antenna, to go up, it already tells you on here, it's got up and down with the arrow. So to set it up, follow the arrow for up. And that basically just, it's on the roof, and it's just standing up now. And then you'll basically want to try and find your direction. If you've got other people around, you can look at theirs and and aim it with this little triangular piece. So that's in the up position and set up. But to come back down, we want these two little triangles here. We want to make sure they're lined up, so you know that it's in the right position, and then you just come back down. And that just sits on the roof. You don't have to put lots of tension. It just stops. That's all you have to do. So with the TV has a DVD player built in here for watching movies. Obviously, if you want to take it outside, you can set the movies up outside as well. This one here comes off for travel. It's got it set up here now. I'll show you how that comes off in a minute. There's really only a couple of things you have to do here. When you travel around, you'll have to tune the TV in. You go to a new area, you probably have to tune in to their signal. So it's that's the microwave in there. So up the top here, if you get the camera up there, that is the power for the telly. Okay, so the TV runs off the battery. So if you're going to take this outside, these two cords come out and go through this hole here, and you just take those out, run it outside off the 12 volt, and there's a TV point outside there as well. That just unthreads. Two things to check: that the light's on, and this green light. The green light, if that's not on, the booster's not on, you will get no signal. So just make sure that's on. It's easy to sort of knock it. When you plug the TV in, it'll be, probably go in the other direction. That one's up there now and powered up. When you pack this TV up, we recommend unpowering it from this socket, and then under here, pulling this power socket out here. So I'll go back up to the charger and just show the TV points up there with the fuse. If you've got the power in at the top and you go to plug this in, it's actually quite easy to touch something, and you can short the little fuse arrangement in this, and that you might lose a couple of lights, and I'll show you up in on the charger where those fuses are. This one here is just simply your TV reception. It goes into here. So to put the telly on, your TV goes on, put the TV antenna on, put the power socket into here, and then go up to the top and basically just put it back in up the top there to power it up, and then it's right to go. And then it's obviously a reverse of that to pack it up. Pull the power first, undo this one, and then this one comes off. Travel the curtain in the way. So there's a few different types of TV bracket, but the principle's the same. And we like that to come off for travel. And the best place to put this one is probably under your bedspread once you've got your doona and everything on. Tuck that up under your pillows. And then this cord just basically goes back up into that cupboard out of the way. So it's not rubbing on the walls while you're driving along. That's quite neat. Packed up in there. So these are all the fuses up the top here, and TV fuse. So the service technicians will mark that fuse, the second one from the top, and there's a couple of spares just taped in here in case if you plug the towing in incorrect way, it would blow this fuse. You just pull that out and replace it if you need to. Okay. So with the windows, there's a few different windows we're using at the moment because of the COVID, but the operation is pretty much the same. The basic principle of operating the window is the same for all the double glazed windows. They all have a block out blind, they all have fly screen, and they all basically just clip together. So you basically clip these together once you've got the window open. At night time, obviously, you would come up and have this up the top here and block out the light from the outside. You have these little travel locks here. Open those up. So when these are open, the Dometic windows, the two main windows, have this clicking mechanism. So basically once it goes past that click, not sure if the microphone picks that up, but there's 3 clicks. So if you just go past the click, it will hold its position. Obviously fly screen would come down now. And then you go past the clicks, it just falls back down. So if you go past the click too far, it will just fall back down. If you go to the click, it'll hold its position. So that's pretty much how you operate it. If it's windy, if it's really windy and you're going out for the day or something, I wouldn't leave these blinds up and have this window wide open. This blind mechanism could obviously get damaged. So the windows have this little, I guess you call it a wind and rain setting. Find where that is. There on this one. So you can pull that down, and there's a little gap in here. So basically that's sort of in a locked position, but there's a little air gap there, and you'll find even with the fly screen down, you'll get some ventilation. If it's raining heavy, no water can come in, but you can still have some airflow. And then obviously we want to make sure that this is in the correct locked position for travel, like so. And that's it, that's the window locked. Storing the van, travelling, we recommend that these are in the open position. The spring mechanisms in here, more in the relaxed position, while it's like this, as if you leave it up for 6 months or so, it's pulling on that spring for that period of time. We'd recommend to just leave it open for travel. So that's pretty much the basic operation of the van. Bear in mind that your particular model that you've ordered may have some different features depending on the model, and just have a chat with the salesperson on the day and they can show you over your van. Thanks.